Hey my beautiful Cancer peeps, what's going on everybody? It's Sam from CancerMoonsTarot, and I'm coming at you guys with your mid-May 2022 tarot reading. How are you guys? I hope you guys are well. Without a further ado, let's see what we got going on, baby. What do we got going on here for Cancer? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout mid-May 2022. What do we got going on for my Cancer peeps, please? Messages for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout the mid-May portion. What do we got? Cancer, overall energy for you is going to be refusing to see. So there's a situation right now occurring that you're not necessarily picking up on. This could be the energy of like the ego blocking the intuition. Moving on to the next card for you, we also have here clarity of belief. Now, do keep in mind, this is one of my favorite cards in this oracle deck because the clarity of belief says if you can believe in a situation, the situation can happen. And I stand by that and I back that 110%. If you have belief within yourself to succeed in something, as long as you accompany that belief with action, you're going to make it happen. There is no law of attraction without the law of action and vice versa. So there has to be belief powered by the action that you're taking here. So coming into mid-May here so far, refusing to see and clarity of belief. Refusing to see could very well likely be that you're refusing to see your potential, aka there's a disbelief that you have in something that you necessarily, if you really wanted to, you could make it happen 110% Cancer. So the disbeliefs that you have within yourself is why when you're taking action, you appear to be failing. Okay? That's the vibe that I got for you guys coming up in mid-May. If you're taking action, you're trying to make something happen, and then you're like, I don't know why the heck it's not. It's most likely because you don't have that belief within yourself that you can do it. You're not committed enough to believe that you can do it. You don't believe that you are the person that's going to get it done. And when you have that lack of belief, it doesn't matter how much action you take, you will always stand in the way of yourself without even realizing it. You know? So coming into mid-May here, one of the biggest things that I think needs to be touched on is not only that law of action, right? But you really got to focus on realizing that you have the power to make what you want happen in life. So you could be in a position right now where you're currently trying to make a business happen. Maybe you guys have started a business, you've started something online, and you're just struggling right now. It's like no matter what I do, I just feel like I cannot get any people to buy my products. Look at the sentence that I just stated right there. I cannot get anybody to buy my products. That's a belief right there. You're believing that you can't get people to buy your products. So because you believe that people just don't want to buy them, they're not buying them. It don't matter how much you keep posting those products online, how much ads you keep paying for to promote your stuff. If you believe that they're not going to buy them, they're not going to buy them. So this is the month where we realize that we got to be mindful as heck with what we say, because the words and the things that we put out into the universe can be spells that are used against us. You know, if you tell yourself you can't do something, you ain't going to do it. If you tell yourself that I can't for some reason seem to get enough money, then you right then and there are blocking your ability to manifest the money you desire because you've already said that you can't have it. You know, so these are the energies here for sure that we got to brush up on and that we got to be very, very mindful and aware of coming into mid-May. We don't want to cast these types of spells against ourselves, you know? All right, Cancer, let's jump into your recent past here before we go any further. What do we have in the recent past here for Cancer? Excuse me for 1 second. Ugh, allergies are killing me today and it's not fun. What do we have here in the recent past here for Cancer? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout mid-May. Moving into your recent past, Cancer, we do have here a 10 of Pentacles. Beautiful. Definitely a big major card of success. We also have the Sun. So there was a lot of happiness in your recent past as well. And then lastly, we have here the King of Pentacles. Ooh, there was a lot of abundance here. Now, when I use the term abundance, it doesn't have to be like Cancer, you were rich as heck in your past. It doesn't have to be abundance in the reference of money, but it could have been abundance in happiness, right? There's abundance in a multitude of things. You could be abundant in positivity, abundant in happiness, abundant in creativity, right? So ultimately, you seem to be in a relatively happy place in your recent past, a very stable place at that with the 10 of Pentacles. And with the King of Pentacles over here, something was working very well for you. Something was very much so stable for you in your life. And that provided a lot of happiness for you. You know, this could have been representing a stable job that you really enjoyed, a stable relationship you really enjoyed, or even a stable kind of energy that you were in. You know, you could have been in like an incredibly positive place in your past, where you were just in a really good vibe all the friggin' time, and that was something that you really enjoyed and felt really abundant in. Let's have a look here, though, at the current energies for you, Cancer. Give me 1 sec. I messed up my cards over here. Let me move them up a little bit. Okay. I'm OCD sometimes about how things look, like how things are presented. I don't know if you guys are like that too, Cancer. It's like if you're looking at something, I want it to be aesthetically pleasing to the eye. It's like I can't get these dang cards straight. There you go. That's going to have to make do. So let's go ahead and have a look here at the current energies for you guys moving throughout mid-May. What current energies do we have here for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus? Looking at your current energies, we got the Hierophant. So the energy of commitment. Cancer, you're definitely committed. I'm not going to lie to you about that, for sure. I definitely sense a huge amount of commitment. You know, you're super committed to doing something. You're super committed to taking action. But remember, the reason why it isn't manifesting for you is because of the disbelief. You know, when you lack belief in yourself, you create the roadblocks that basically detain you from getting what you want. And I know that some Cancerians might be like, well, Ann, I do believe in myself. Why would I keep trying so hard to make something happen if I didn't believe in myself? You can be incredibly motivated to make something happen, but still not even be aware that you believe in enough that it will happen for you, you know? So the commitment's definitely here. Taking a look at the next card, we do have here the Chariot. And then lastly, for Cancerian, we have here the Six of Cups. So, I mean, coming into your current energies for mid-May, the Hierophant, the Chariot, and the Six of Cups. You know, you're in a space here in mid-May where you're incredibly committed to making a path work out for you. The Chariot here represents where you want to go moving forward. It represents your future. And the Six of Cups, of course, is that card that represents your past. So it feels to me like looking into your past, right? You definitely had a lot of great things work out for you. But when you're coming into your present moment, you are going to do everything that you can to create a better future. So you had something great in the past, but you want your future to be even better, is what I'm sensing for you, Cancer. But at the same time, I still feel like you're refusing to see that the reason why your future isn't manifesting right now the way that you want it to be is because it doesn't matter how much action you take, you still need to power that action by the belief within yourself. You have to eliminate the roadblock here of disbelief, Cancer, okay? Now, it's very easy to be in our ego and think that, well, no, I do believe in myself. But your real higher self will always speak the truth, even if you're not realizing it, right? Have you ever like randomly just started talking and in like mid-conversation you would say something and then you thought to yourself like, why did I say that? There's little bits of truth to that, you know? Let's say that you have a business right now and you're talking to a friend about your business and your friend is like, oh, like I really love your products. And you suddenly slip and say, well, thanks. I mean, at least you love them, right? It seems like nobody else does. You know what I'm saying? Like that right then and there is one of those situations where you kind of just slip the truth. And it's like great to hear that your friend loves your products, but at the same time, you kind of just threw that under the bus and said nobody else wants to buy them, you know? So you put that energy out there. You said that. You casted that spell, right, Cancer? And the more you do that, the more you're going to continue to kind of reinforce more and more disbelief in yourself that people actually want to buy the products that you are putting out into your store, into your business, so on and so forth. So that right there is instilling little bits of belief, that is a new word, little bits of disbelief, okay, into your life at a time. And that's what needs to be kind of corrected here coming into mid-May so we can start to get that power of belief right back up. All right, let's go ahead and have a look here at your challenge, though. What's going to be the challenge here for Team Cancer? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout mid-May. What's going to be the challenge here for Team Cancerian? And we have here the Two of Pentacles. Moving on forward from that, we also have here the Hermit. And then lastly, for my Cancers, we have here the World card. So I think that the challenge here is trying not to give up on what it is that you're doing. Like I said, Cancer, you're super committed. It's like you want to give up at the same time because you keep doing something and you're not getting a different result. You know, it's the energy of like, okay, well, I want to sell my products, so I'm going to keep doing everything I can to sell my products, but they're not selling. So like I want to give up, but yet I'm too committed. So at the same time, I want to keep on doing it. Like it's a very confusing answer, Cancer. Maybe I sound crazy, but that's the energy that you guys are showing up as. It's like, I'm very committed here to sell my products. I just don't think that I'm going to sell my products, but I'm going to keep trying to sell my products anyways. Okay? That's the vibe here. That's the challenge. The challenge here is in a position of where it's like you want to quit, but you can't because you're just too invested here in succeeding. But why are you not succeeding, right? I think the challenge here is finding out the real reason why you haven't had the success you've wanted after you put in all the hours, after you put in all the time, after you put in all the dedication. So you want to know why you are not succeeding, and I think that that's what you're struggling with the most. And, you know, I'm not going to keep repeating the answer. I think that answer was pretty widespread throughout this entire video of like the lack of belief. You need that belief to power up. You need that belief to fuel you. So one thing I can definitely tell you is that the best thing you can do is be very aware of what you say. You know, if you're speaking against yourself, if you're talking negatively against yourself, if you're talking negatively against your success, you know, those things are instilling more and more disbelief within yourself over time. When you do that, catch yourself, be aware, and instead replace that negative sentence that you had with something inherently positive. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Whew, my stomach's a little messed up today. So when you catch yourself doing something or saying something negative, replace that with something positive. Because the more that you do that, the more that you become aware when you're doing something that's negative or something that's working against yourself and building resistance, you replace that with something positive so that it becomes a habit to speak positively about yourself. It becomes a habit to speak positively about your business, right? So anytime you catch yourself doing something negative and you replace it with a positive, that's called positive reinforcement. And positive reinforcement is going to start to become a habit for you. So Cancers, coming into your mid-May, guys, you know, that challenge here is figuring out, like, why can't I just have this success? I had it in my past. You know, maybe you had a booming business in the past and you just feel like it's not that booming today. Maybe you felt like you were really happy with yourself in the past and you're not happy with yourself today. Whatever the case may be, what changed was your outlook. It was your belief. It was the way that you perceived and what you believed you were capable to do. So the struggle here is finding the answer to why you aren't successful, but that answer here is all throughout this video. So definitely do your best here to kind of continue to break that disbelief barrier, and day in and day out, say little things to help reinforce that belief, you know? Positive affirmations. If we're talking about a business here, I sell products all the time. People always enjoy them. When friends ask you in conversation on how your business is doing, say it's doing great. People love the products that I'm promoting. Actually, are you interested? You know, throw a little plug in there, right? Make sure what you're putting into the universe, what you're speaking into the world, is nothing but great things about the success that you have. And little by little, you'll start to reinforce that belief, okay? Let's have a look at what you'll be dealing with here. What are my Cancers going to be dealing with? 9 of Swords, stress. We got here 9 of Cups. We also got here the 9 of Pentacles. We got so many 9s. And then we got here the 5 of Swords. So we got 999 over here. I'm actually not sure what that angel number represents. I know that was Juice WRLD's number, right? 999. So maybe look that up, guys, on Google. 999. It might be an angel number some of you need to hear. But either way, based upon what you'll be dealing with throughout the rest of this month, the 9 of Swords, the 9 of Cups, the 9 of Pentacles, and then the 5 of Swords. Essentially, what you'll be dealing with is going through periods of stress and then periods of confidence. Periods of stress, then periods of resistance. You know, it's like you're going back and forth through these energies. So you'll go from being stressed out about not being successful to saying, all right, I'm going to work hard, I'm going to make this happen. And then, oh no, it's not happening, it's not working. So this is the energy that you're dealing with, right? It's the cycle, you know? So you'll say to yourself, I want to quit, I want to give up at this point, I hate it, I feel like I'm just going nowhere, and then you'll get motivated again, and then that motivation suddenly starts to deplete, and then you feel major resistance. So that seems to be what you're dealing with here in this time. Let's go ahead and see where things are going to be going for you, though. Where are things going to be going here for Cancer? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout mid-May, and we have here the 2 of Wands. Moving on forward from that, we also have here the 4 of Cups, and then we have here the 8 of Swords followed up with the Moon card. So, based upon where things are going for you here, Cancer, 2 of Wands, 4 of Cups, 8 of Swords, and then the Moon card. What I'm seeing for you guys is based upon where things are going, 2 of Wands to the 4 of Cups, you're getting closer and closer to wanting to ignore this situation. I think that you're getting ready here to like take a break, essentially, from what you're doing. It's like, I really do feel like giving up. I'm really close to giving up here. Every time I think about my success, I just don't feel like I can have it anymore. It doesn't feel real to me. It doesn't feel like it's going to happen. And then with the Moon card over here, you know, it's a situation that makes you incredibly emotional. You're like, I just feel like I've tried so hard, I've invested so much time, and that my time here has been wasted. So you really do feel like a bunch of resistance here, and you just feel like no matter what I do, I'm not getting out of this situation. I'm not going to get the success that I was here for and that I was working towards. And, you know, I resonate with this 100%, Cancer, because I've been in positions like this in my life where I have been in the same exact cycle where I would just keep on working so hard because I was so dedicated to make something happen. And then I would try to ask myself, why am I not succeeding? And then I wouldn't realize the realization that the reason, right, I'm not succeeding is because I'm constantly putting myself down. I'm not succeeding because I'm not believing in myself enough. I'm not succeeding because I'm not putting good stuff out there for me. I'm putting things that are creating resistance against me into the universe. And I had to be super mindful at that point. I had to become aware of this is the reason why I'm blocking the manifestations that I'm wanting to create right now in my life. Okay, let's go ahead and have a look at the overall outcome though for you, Cancer. What's going to be the overall outcome here for Cancer? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout mid-May 2022. And that overall outcome is going to be the Nine of Wands. It's like, I feel like what I'm going through, I'm just going to keep this to myself. I feel like what I'm going through is one of those situations where I'm kind of just going to give up and I'm going to bottle up these feelings and emotions, and it is what it is. And I still feel like at the same time here, Cancer, you're still going to power on forward with the Page of Cups. So it's like you're going to get caught up in the same cycle. You're not leaving the cycle. You're not exiting it. You're staying in the same cycle. You're putting your feelings to the side and saying, I'm going to continue to be dedicated to try to make this success come to term. And you're going to find yourself still feeling unsuccessful because of that lack of belief. And when you get caught up in the cycle of already feeling like you're not being successful, or that you're doing a bad job, or that you're not going to get what you want, it's just going to keep spinning around and around and around. And it's going to be incredibly hard to break free from that cycle and start thinking more positively again. It's going to be incredibly hard to break free from that cycle and start putting good things to say about yourself and good things to say about the success you want back in. So you got to hop off the hamster wheel here, Cancer. If you want to see your success work, if you want to see the change. I think that one piece of advice I can give to you from when I was stuck in situations like this was, like I mentioned before, like you really do have to be aware when you are talking against yourself or when you're manifesting against yourself. You know, for example, when you're like, I guess nobody ever wants to buy my products. You may say that even in a sarcastic tone, but the universe doesn't pick up on your tones. It picks up on what you say, you know? So if it's like, I guess nobody wants to buy my products, catch yourself and say, no, that's bullshit. I actually do create really genuinely good products and people want to buy it, right? Do that instead. Continue to replace your negativity with positivity. Continue to use the act of positive reinforcement. And when I went through situations like this too, I had to recognize as well that I was worthy of the success that I wanted and I was more than capable of having it. And even though I got really caught deep in this cycle, I needed to realize that I could still get out of it. I think another thing, Cancer, that keeps you pretty trapped in this type of cycle is because if you've been in it for a long time, you feel like it's incredibly hard to break out of it. It's like, it feels impossible to get out of this cycle. I think that I'm always going to be stuck here now. It's like I've screwed myself in reference to manifesting what I want. And that's not true. You can break the cycle immediately. So don't let that become a belief system that you're going to be trapped in the cycle when you can break free from it at any given time. It's just going to require work, and it's going to require patience, and it's going to require effort to change the way that your mind has been reacting and responding to the unsuccess you've been having. It's time to start looking at your unsuccess in a different situation. It's not that you were never able to be successful. It's that you were in a position where you were putting down your success and blocking it from ever happening. Now we can start to remove those roadblocks and start seeing that success come in little by little, okay? All right, Cancer, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Really, really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I really do hope it helped because this is a situation that's super tricky, okay? I've been here before way too many times, and I hope that I could be of benefit and help to you. I'm sure it was pretty repetitive at certain times, but I think that's the point because repetition's the mother of learning, right? Sometimes you got to repeat what's going on here to find that solution and to fix the issue at hand, right? So Cancer, hopefully it helped. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great and wonderful rest of your May. If you're new here, definitely consider subscribing. And also, definitely feel free to check out the Mercury Survival Candle. Mercury is in retrograde, so in honor of that, this candle is a year-round candle because Mercury occurs every single year, 3 to 4 times a year. This year, we're having it 4 times. So if you want to check out the Mercury Survival Candle or the Mercury Survival Kit, it is the first link in the description. Feel free to check it out. It'll help make your Mercury retrograde a heck of a lot smoother. With Cancer, I love you. Enjoy May, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.